Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Bitcoin whales are in one of the most aggressive accumulation cycles in history. This coming from XRP Crypto Wolf here on Twitter. I don't doubt it for one bit. So one of the most aggressive accumulations in history. This is what this has been dubbed. Recently, Santiment shared on Twitter that Bitcoin wallets of small and medium sizes have recently bought a large amount of BTC. These addresses hold anywhere from 0.1 Bitcoin to 100 Bitcoin. So we're seeing, quite a span here. And in the past half year, they have accumulated around 9% of their holdings to their stashes. The Santiment team stressed that this was one of the most aggressive purchasing cycles in the history of crypto. So in all the history of crypto, this is one of the most aggressive. There's probably a reason for that too. And I have a feeling it's because, more industry players are interested in cryptocurrency. I think it's because we're seeing that light at the end of the tunnel. Investors are really understanding how crypto is going to form and shape the new financial system. I still think that that's only a small percentage of investors, but I think the bigger picture outlook is that, they realize it's going to be regulated. And so it's an asset class that they will be able to trade freely without the fears of the SEC breathing down their neck. And I'm talking about institutional players here. And of course, when you have a down market, when Bitcoin is trading 75% off its highs, it only makes sense that this would be the most aggressive accumulation period in all of crypto history, not just in this cycle, in all of crypto history. So according to Santiment, according to their post, these whales previously accumulated Bitcoin en masse during the bull run back in 2017. So they were present in 2017. When Bitcoin did reach its all-time high of 20,000, they did sell part of their stash. As the price did drop, they resumed buying and also accumulated at the end of 2020. So these are not, new players to the space. These are people who have been trading in previous cycles. Since the leading crypto fell below $20,000 recently, these whales have been accumulating it aggressively. The Santiment report concludes that big investors like that are often correct in price expectation in the long run, but they fail to predict short-term fluctuations in the market. Well, they're not really here for the short term. So, I could understand why they don't really care about that. Going back to the Bitcoin chart here, Bitcoin right now trading at $16,800. And, as I had mentioned earlier, we are down still around the same. We are down, around the same amount, 75%. So not too much fluctuation here. Zooming out, of course, when you put a horizontal line here on the chart, you guys can see we did retrace to former all-time highs. So bouncing off old resistance in this zone here, forming new support in 2022 and 2023. Aggressive accumulation. Let's take a look at the XRP chart right now. XRP trading 34 cents, 34.1, give or take. So we haven't really seen too much since this liquidity grab. We were hoping that, the XRP price could rally even further, but it's been a little disappointing. I'm not going to lie. We did originally see this rally over the next few hours. I guess people were getting excited, but it wasn't able to hold. And so new support is being formed in and around here. So right now it's trading at 34.1. By and large, though, XRP and Bitcoin both trading, in tandem with the rest of the crypto market. So nothing out of the ordinary, really. Still holding this level of support. This is a good sign. The fact that this is holding, this is positive news. Waiting, patiently for some kind of signal, likely going to be a lawsuit resolution before we start seeing new movement. The space has been developing and, we're also starting to see the real world utility play out in the form of advertisements. Mr. Hubert here on Twitter had to laugh hard when he saw Swift's GPI ad. Okay, so they just published a new ad here. The future for cross-border payments. Create the next era for correspondent banking. But get this, look how awkward they make it look, how expensive the payment is, how long they wait, and how surprised they are. This is my favorite part. How surprised they are about the payment being successful at the end, guys. I'm just going to play you this clip here. This is Swift. Now, so this is from 2023, I guess. 2023. This is Swift's latest commercial, The Future of Cross-Border Payments. Take a look at this.
So I think we've reached a very successful conclusion. Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. So it's my understanding you're flying out this evening?
Yes.
ありがとうございました。
Oh, thank you.
Hey, Lawrence. Hi, Ian. Look, I know you've put a lot of work in on this, so I thought you should be the first to know. We've signed the contract.
Fantastic. Does that mean that I can push the green light on this end?
Hi Ian, it's Anya. We're almost complete. We also just wanted to keep you in the loop with the payment.
Yep. You should see all the details in front of you now.
Fantastic. Time is of the essence. The deadline for our first shipment goes out this afternoon.
We've also just sent Mr. Tanaka the payment request, which is everything he needs.
Yeah. Looks like he's got it.
This part especially, just, going through this with no dialogue.
Taxi! Hey guys, look, I know it's getting late there. I can track the payment and keep you posted.
Oh, there's no need for you to do that, Ian. Thank you. Payment is complete. We've just got access to the funds.
Perfect.
I can see where Mr. Hubert here is commenting on the clunkiness of this. So there you have it, guys. The Swift GPI ad. Very clunky and very awkward. I have to agree with Mr. Hubert here. But that just is part and parcel to where Swift is at compared to the next generation of payment systems. I gotta say, a 2-minute ad where, most of it is just, poorly paced action of this guy looking at his tablet and, picking the right bank and the payment system and all that. Really doesn't speak future to me. It just seems so awkward. Anyway, Mr. Hubert down here saying, if the button is called Start Payment Process, you already know what you are dealing with, probably Ethereum. The best part about all of this is how, with their super futuristic tablets in the future, they still act like a payment with $70 transaction fees. 5 minutes of processing time is an incredible accomplishment. Look at them nodding at each other in relief at the end. We made it. Pretty pathetic, considering Ripple put this commercial out back in 2019.
收到了
He's got it.
I've got it!
ได้แล้ว
เราได้แล้ว They got it.
They got it.
I got it.
Quick, snappy. The complete opposite, I think, of what Swift is now advertising in 2023. So, part of this is probably advertising agencies, but also company ideology, the concept. The old, stodgy legacy system versus new, fast financial technology that leverages a cryptocurrency, namely XRP, the fastest cryptocurrency for cross-border transactions that is in production right now. Companies are using it. So a stark difference here. And, that's we're already seeing it. It already is relating to what we are seeing in the real world. So gonna keep moving. Michael Branch here posting this. Now, MoneyGram, so a former Ripple partner, they've actually requested the U.S. District Court of the Southern District of New York to seal certain portions of the summary judgment that does relate to them. So just a little bit of an update with regards to the Ripple SEC case. Some of the fast facts here. MoneyGram said by selling some of its documentation for the summary judgment, a type of judgment typically delivered on the basis of statement of evidence without a full trial, it hopes to protect business information and employee identities. And sorry, I said selling, I meant sealing. This says sealing, not selling. In September, the SEC and Ripple sought a summary judgment in the ongoing case, as we know. So this is obviously a concern for MoneyGram. Last month, the federal judge granted a joint motion to extend the deadline to January 13th for all parties to submit their Dober motions, which would exclude certain expert testimonies and other related documentation. So this just stating that MoneyGram wanted some of their information sealed. Obviously, they were a former Ripple partner, and I believe their logo is even right here at the end of this, there it is, MoneyGram, right here at the end of this old ad. But since the SEC sued Ripple, they did eventually dissolve their partnership, and so now they want this information sealed if it is to go to court. There's been another development too, guys, with regards to the case. Charles Gasparino recently came out on Fox Business, and he made a statement. He worded a phrase in a way that got the XRP community a little concerned, I guess, maybe upset. I don't know if that's the right word or not, and it has to do with ETHgate. So it extends into this. First, I wanted to just mention Mr. Hubert also posting this on Twitter. You just have to love the timing. Hinman's Wells notice for Ripple, okay? When Swift published its GPI, Clayton's last day lawsuit, and most importantly, to say it in his words of Consensus, how Consensus and JP Morgan have collaborated to make Ethereum the choice for enterprises. So we can see all the connections here, okay? And again, look at the dates. 2020, October, this is from October of 2020, Swift GPI driving a payments revolution. Then we had the Wells meeting with Ripple, okay, at the SEC with Stephanie Avakian. Again, this was the last week of October 2020 at 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., so that's when that was. Meanwhile, Consensus acquires Quorum platform from JP Morgan. This was back in August of 2020. In 2016, Consensus and JP Morgan have collaborated to make Ethereum the platform of choice for enterprise, building secure and customizable business networks at scale. And so, this is bringing back the ETHgate story and, questioning this. Charles Gasparino recently made an appearance on Fox Business, and Michael Branch pointing this out, I don't think that's correct. Gasparino explained on Twitter that based on what he had found out, the reason that the SEC chose to go after Ripple and not Ethereum is that allegedly the latter sold tokens once and then stopped. So, XRP community calling him out on this. Was this true? Is it not true? Well, I think there's an explanation for this. So this article just goes on and talks a little bit about, the story, the history. The Hinman speech was about how the SEC planned to use the Howey test to determine whether a digital asset could be considered a security or not. The only two cryptocurrencies Hinman mentioned by name were Bitcoin and Ethereum, and neither of which he said should be considered as securities. So then there's a quote there with regards to that. If we go down here, well, earlier today, Gasparino explained on Twitter that based on what he had found out, the reason that the SEC chose to go after Ripple and not the Ethereum Foundation is that allegedly the latter had sold tokens only once and then stopped. Naturally, this explanation angered the XRP community, who correctly pointed out the Ethereum Foundation has sold Ethereum on more than one occasion since the Ethereum ICO in the summer of 2014. So Charles Gasparino came out and said, so I guess it was phrased in a way, I didn't actually see the clip, but I think it was phrased in a way that he made it sound like, well, this was a fact. And so the XRP community obviously jumped into high gear here. How many different explanations for why the SEC sues Ripple but leaves Ethereum alone do you think the SEC can give Charles Gasparino before he realizes that he is being played with? At the time, he believed the SEC, it was because of development. Now he believes the SEC, it is because, and then it continues down here, of ongoing sales, though he doesn't really want to think about it by himself.
Ethereum has been given the green light. It could keep working, even though it didn't register any of this stuff. Ripple, as you know, is being sued. What's the difference between Ripple and Ethereum? Well, the SEC would say Ripple is still building out its platform.
The Ethereum platform is built out. The stuff is now trading like any other commodity, not a security that is used to build something where you get something in return.
Build on top of that. Turns out we can build a financial
you're
plumbing
saying
layer.
That the concept of launching something that doesn't scale and then rebuilding it as something scalable
it
was
scales
in the
somewhat.
initial plans or initial thinking.
We knew it wasn't going to be scalable for sure.
The Ethereum platform is built out. The stuff is now trading like any other commodity, not a security that is used to build something where you get something in return.
Analyzed, but our current strategy is that we have 3 pools of Ether. So one pool is the pool that we sell. Mm-hmm. The other pool is the infinitely growing pool that's going to get mined. And the third pool is a small pool, roughly something like 30% of the Ether that we sell is something that we're going to use as an organization to pay for development long term.
The Ethereum platform is built out. The stuff is now trading like any other commodity, not a security that is used to build something where you get something in return.
We are probably almost certainly going to release Ethereum 2.0 sometime around 2016 or so, which will hopefully have much more advanced cryptography protocols that will really solve the scalability issue to a much greater extent. We are probably almost certainly going to release Ethereum 2.0 sometime around 2016 or so.
The Ethereum platform is built out. The stuff is now trading like any other commodity, not a security that is used to build something where you get something in return.
Build on top of that, turns out we can build a financial
you're
plumbing
saying
layer.
That the concept of launching something that doesn't scale and then rebuilding it as something scalable
it
was
scales
in the
somewhat.
initial plans or initial
yeah, we
thinking.
knew it wasn't going to be scalable for sure.
Even just by listening to this clip, you can see the incongruencies with what Charles Gasparino stated on Fox Business and obviously what the Ethereum Foundation has been saying for years now. Here's another clip from Digital Asset Buy. The Ethereum guys never stopped with the Ethereum tokens.
I presume that your net worth crashed a great deal. It got run up and then came back down.
It did, yeah.
And were you happy in any way about that?
Relieved.
Relieved?
Yeah. So when right at the top of the big bubble, like in December 2017, when Bitcoin was hitting 20,000, ETH was hitting 1,400. I made this tweet, a series of tweets, and that kind of became somewhat famous within the space, where I basically said, the cryptocurrency space has reached $500 billion. Does it deserve it? Like, do the things that it's actually accomplished, like hold a candle to the promises that the market is ascribing to it? And I mean, the subtext of my answer is not yet, and I was proven very right fairly quickly. But
you didn't short it, did you?
So I did get the Ethereum Foundation to sell about 70,000 ETH, like basically at the top, and that's doubled our runway now. So, and it was one good decision that had a lot of impact, but did not short.
So you see, he was about to say convinced the Ethereum Foundation to sell about 70,000 Ethereum at the top. It did double the runway. So again, all to this point that Ethereum continued to sell tokens. Meanwhile, Charles Gasparino here stating what the XRP community is taking as fact. Now, John Deaton came to Charlie's defense. As always, Charlie is doing what a good independent journalist does. And we got to remember this, guys. We can't have it both ways. I know a lot of you guys are the types of people who maybe don't trust the media, and for good reason. Realize there's always an agenda attached. And so when we hear things, we're already questioning them. And, I got to give kudos to all you guys for being critical thinkers. At the same time, though, independent journalism does need an unbiased account, and we do need to recount both sides of the story. And so this is exactly what Charles Gasparino was doing. He was being a good independent journalist. This is coming from John Deaton. He is reporting the news based on reliable sources he must be talking to. Of course, I would love to respectfully debate some of these sources who are close to the SEC or anyone who voted to bring the case. So Charles Gasparino just stating the facts as were reported to him. So he said, the autopsy of the SEC versus Ripple case is a work in progress, obviously. But amid the FTX debacle, it's worth asking why the SEC did focus on the XRP Ripple case. The answer based on my reporting comes down to the SEC believing Ripple management was flouting SEC's authority by continuing to sell XRP after on notice to stop because the way it was being sold seemed to establish XRP's designation as a security. Notice, Ethereum did possibly one sale and stopped. No case, not picking sides, just reporting why the case was brought. So he is, again, just doing what an independent journalist does, reporting the facts, and I put facts in quote, that had been relayed to him. Now, there's been, an uproar on Twitter with regards to this. JV here saying, some may not want to hear this or like the fact, but a new industry with no rules or regulations, if the regulator tells you to stop, then just stop if you've gotten away with it initially. Yeah, Ethereum had an ICO, but that ICO ended. Ripple continues to profit from XRP sales. JV continues by saying, yeah, Joe Lubin disguised large purchasers of the ICO, but Ripple didn't disguise any one of their large sales. So we all have different viewpoints, but ultimately, Ripple brought this on themselves with their transparency. It's sad to say. Crypto Law retorting here, he's saying one point that really isn't an opinion, but more something related to facts. The SEC never told Ripple or any market participant to stop trading XRP. The lawsuit remains the one and the only arguable set of guidance related to XRP status, and even that included no injunction. So of course we got to look at the facts here. Never told to stop, never told anything really, and so, this is why the fair notice defense is so important. Then we have the whole Hinman thing. So is it fair? And is Ethereum in the clear or not? JV here responding, Hinman told Brad to stop Ripple's sales. Marco Gomes down here saying, I got to disagree with you regarding Ripple. It's like the cop saying to you, drop your weapon, but you got no weapon to drop. Regarding Ethereum, it's like if a murder happened and you say, that's done. From now on, we kill nobody anymore. An interesting analogy there. JV responding, that's cool. It's okay to have different opinions. I'm not trying to convince anyone to see it my way. We all should share our own individual opinions and not the opinion of the majority. So, still a contested issue here in the XRP community. I think Charles Gasparino was just doing what a good journalist does, of course, reporting the facts. It is a bit insane, though, considering we do have all this information. We have all these clips of Ethereum basically admitting that they continued the sales of ETH tokens, and knowing that they got the free pass obviously does not sit right with the XRP community. Anyway, time will tell, and I think we do have a good case in front of the courts. Many of us are just waiting for that final verdict before we see the price of XRP explode. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.